Hi, I'm Storymaster Jason Reid. Today, we're going to talk about something that can really spice up your stories, whether you're a speaker, marketer, or even a filmmaker, and that is suspense. Now, I want to look at suspense from a different angle by talking about the difference between suspense and surprise. Surprise is when something dramatic happens in your story without warning. Now, not only is the audience surprised, but the characters in the story are also surprised at the same time. Let's contrast this with the idea of suspense. In suspense, you let the audience know of a danger that the character in the story doesn't realize yet. This makes every small moment in that story dramatic because the audience knows that the stakes are high, and this grabs people's attention. So let me give you an example from film, and then we'll talk about how you can use this yourself if you're telling a story from the stage or just to a friend. Now, the original master of suspense in filmmaking is Alfred Hitchcock. And in a famous early film called Sabotage, he had a scene where a boy takes a package on the bus. No one in the scene, including the boy, realizes that in that package is a bomb. Now, Hitchcock could have simply just shown the bomb blow up, which would have surprised us as much as the characters. But instead, he lets the audience know about the bomb early. This makes the next 5 minutes in the scene full of drama. Every mundane moment is drawn out and heightened, pulling every single audience member into the story so that we're all paying attention when the bomb finally goes off. So in this case, suspense is much more effective than surprise. So how can you use suspense when you're telling your story? Well, let's say you're telling a story about being in line for a show on a cold night when suddenly someone butts in line in front of you. Words are exchanged, tension rises, maybe tempers start to get hot. And imagine that after this exchange, someone comes up to you and tells you the person that you were arguing with is a former mixed martial arts champion with a reputation for assaulting strangers. Phew. That's quite the story, especially the surprise at the end. But imagine how much better that story would be if you let your audience know this crucial piece of information at the beginning of the story, even when you're still unaware of it as a character. You see, at that point, every small event in that scene will be heightened in the audience's mind because they're aware of a danger that you're not. Now, how do you do this? Well, it's simple. You could say something like, "It's a freezing night, and suddenly this little guy butts in front of me. Now, I'm not in the mood to take any rudeness from anyone, so I'm going to tell this little guy off. But what I don't realize is that this seemingly harmless little guy in front of me is actually a champion MMA fighter with a violent temper and a reputation for assault." Now, when you set up a scene like that, your audience is going to lean in, and it's going to magnify every detail. And let's face it, getting your audience's attention is the key to delivering your message. And that's why suspense is such a magnificent tool. So the next time you tell your story, think about where you can add suspense. Now, for more storytelling tips, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also download my professional storytelling tool at the website below.